Porter Duke kind of mentioned that the mental aspect of the game was maybe the takeaway on Wednesday with some of the turnovers, the tough offense. But from your perspective, what was the takeaway from Wednesday?
I think that one of the natural things that happens when you're not playing well or you go through a tough stretch like these last 3 games for us is slippage magnifies. There's slippage in the game, and I thought there was slippage with taking care of the ball. I thought there was slippage in just having some really fouls that were just totally unnecessary, when they're in the double bonus. I mean, there was such a free throw discrepancy, and it was because I thought there were some. So I think that's what happens when you're in a role like that, like a rut, like we've been in 3 games, to where slippage is more prevalent. And we've got to eliminate the slippage. We know there's short margin of errors with the competition in this league. And we've got to eliminate the slippage of fundamentals, of taking care of the ball, of, I think when you miss layups, it's a slippage of your just mental concentration. I thought we missed 10 at the rim, and they finished at the rim at a high clip. So that's the biggest thing mentally, just of being locked in to eliminate slippage when things aren't going your way.
What can you guys do offensively to kind of get out of this rut when I think three games in a row you've had a new season low in field goal percentage?
Right.
How do you get them out of that?
Go back to I was watching the Michigan game, because very similar, some defenses, some big, long, athletic guys in a drop coverage, different coverages they do defensively, but just getting the ball the second, third side. I didn't think we moved it well. I thought and that's a byproduct of we got guys that really want to do well. It's not selfishness, it's wanting to do well. And a byproduct of it when it's not going well is that all of a sudden you just try to do everything yourself, and then that leads to guys standing around. I think we had more standing around than we have in all year, because up until these 3 games, we've been very, very good offensively, no matter who we played, in terms of movement, spacing, getting a good shot. We've not always made the shot, but we've gotten good offense. And I think we got to go back to getting, second, third side, getting the ball to the paint, inside out, off the dribble, but not as much standing around and trusting that.
Porter, kind of along those lines, it seems like Duke's effort was really there throughout the other night. How much have you kind of held that up in front of the other guys? This is what we want to see.
For sure did. He had the least amount of slippage, and it all started with his effort. His confidence came through his toughness and his effort, and that's the way the basketball gods usually treat it. That rewards toughness, attitude, and effort. And that was his foundation, going through these practices, going through that. And I thought he played well. I mean, he had, 5 steals. He led us in assists, led us in steals, led us in points. And I thought that we need more of that. We need that strength in numbers with that mentality. And I thought Duke had one of his better games of the year, and on all fronts. And it started with effort and attitude and his energy and his toughness.
I know the SEC's been tough from top to bottom, but you got an LSU team coming in tomorrow that's struggled a little bit in conference play. But what stands out about them this season?
One is how hard they're continuing to fight through adversity, like us. And I thought they lost to Ole Miss at the buzzer. They were up a ton of the game at Arkansas, and they're extremely long and athletic. They're older. We were familiar with Cam Carter. I think Cam Carter, we faced him the last 2 years at Kansas State. High level, big time player. Can score on anybody in the country, can put up 20 on any night. We know that. We know how good of a scorer he is. Sears, their point, has scored at a high clip. Those two have taken 520 of their shots. They're very, very good offensively. And then they're long. I think Chest and Damian Collins are 2 of the premier long athletic guys. But like us, they've had some to where they've had some heartbreaking losses, and but they've continued to fight, continued to battle, and they have elite athleticism.